chosen ones. Heaven never expected this from you. Something extraordinary happened in the unseen realm the moment you made that choice. Every celestial being froze. Time itself seemed to bend. The very fabric of reality trembled as you stepped into a truth that most will never dare to embrace. You felt it, didn't you? That surge of recognition, that moment when everything clicked into place. What you don't realize is that your awakening sent shockwaves through dimensions beyond our comprehension. Establishing the mystery. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal will forever change how you see your existence. There are moments in the cosmic timeline when individual choices create ripples that echo through eternity. Your decision was one of them. The ancient texts speak of such moments, when mortal actions align so perfectly with divine will that heaven itself pauses to witness. You have always felt different, haven't you? Like you were observing life from behind invisible glass, watching others move through their days with a certainty you couldn't quite grasp. That restlessness, that persistent sense of being misplaced in this world, wasn't a flaw in your design. It was evidence of your true nature awakening. The mystical traditions have long spoken of souls who carry ancient memories, beings whose spirits remember realms beyond the veil. You are one of these rare souls, and your recent awakening has activated something that was dormant for far too long. The divine recognition. Scripture tells us in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." This light has been flickering within you through every trial, every moment of despair, every night when you questioned your purpose. But now, something has changed. That flicker has become a blazing flame. The celestial realm has been watching your journey with intense interest. Every tear you've shed, every burden you've carried, every time you rose after being knocked down, all of it was being recorded in the heavenly scrolls. Your endurance has been tested not to break you, but to prove your authenticity. Think about the battles you've faced, the rejection that should have crushed your spirit, the betrayals that could have turned your heart to stone, the isolation that might have driven you to despair. Yet here you stand, not just surviving, but beginning to thrive. This resilience is not accidental. It's the mark of one who was chosen before time began. The ancient mystics understood that divine selection often comes disguised as hardship. The very struggles that made you question your worth were actually forging you into something unbreakable. Every scar tells a story of victory. Every wound speaks of a battle that darkness could not win. The spiritual transformation. Your awakening has triggered a spiritual metamorphosis that goes deeper than conscious understanding. The frequency of your soul has shifted, aligning with cosmic vibrations that most humans never access. This is why people might seem different to you now, why conversations feel shallow, why you're drawn to seek deeper meaning in everything. The Psalms declare in chapter 139, verse 14, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." These words aren't just poetry. They're a cosmic declaration of your divine architecture. You were crafted with intention, designed with purpose, breathed into existence for a reason that extends far beyond ordinary human experience. Every aspect of your being, from the way you process emotions to how you perceive truth, has been calibrated for something greater. The sensitivity that others might have called weakness is actually a spiritual antenna, tuned to frequencies that most cannot detect. Your ability to feel deeply, to sense the unseen, to recognize truth even when it's wrapped in deception, these are not burdens, they are gifts. The mystic traditions speak of individuals who serve as bridges between worlds, souls capable of accessing wisdom from higher dimensions. Your recent awakening suggests that you are beginning to step into this role. The visions, the intuitive knowing, the sudden insights that seem to come from nowhere. These are signs that the veil between realms is thinning for you. Before we dive deeper into this revelation, I want you to understand something crucial. This message has found you at precisely the right moment. If you feel the truth of these words resonating in your spirit, if something within you is saying, "Yes, this is me," then I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. You're about to embark on a journey of discovery, and you'll want to stay connected to the wisdom that heaven is preparing to unveil through our content. The weight of tears. Every tear you've cried in secret has been collected in the cosmic record. Psalm 56 verse 8 reveals, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." This isn't metaphorical language, it's a literal truth about how the divine realm values your pain. Those nights when sorrow overwhelmed you, when you wept until there were no tears left, when you questioned whether anyone cared about your suffering, the heavenly realm was absorbing every drop. Your tears weren't wasted. They were being transformed into something precious. In the alchemical process of spiritual transformation, pain becomes power, sorrow becomes strength, and tears become testimonies. The mystical understanding of suffering differs greatly from worldly perspectives. While the material realm sees pain as something to be avoided or medicated away, the spiritual realm recognizes it as a purification process. Every tear has been washing away illusions, dissolving the false identities that kept you trapped in limitation. Your capacity to feel deeply, to be wounded by betrayal, to grieve losses that others might dismiss. This emotional depth is evidence of your spiritual sensitivity. Ordinary souls are protected by layers of numbness that prevent them from feeling too much. But awakened souls like yourself experience the full spectrum of human emotion because you're being prepared to help heal others who carry similar wounds. The tears you've shed have created a sacred reservoir of compassion within you. You understand suffering not as an academic concept, but as a lived experience. This understanding will become one of your greatest assets as you step into your true purpose. The rising. There comes a moment in every chosen soul's journey when they must decide, will I remain victim to my circumstances, or will I rise and claim my destiny? You've reached that crossroads, and you chose to rise. Proverbs 24, verse 16 declares, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. But the wicked stumble when calamity strikes." Your decision to rise wasn't just personal, it was cosmic. When you refused to stay down, when you decided that your story wouldn't end in defeat, you aligned yourself with forces that move mountains. The spiritual realm recognizes this kind of determination because it mirrors the divine nature itself. The Creator never gives up, never surrenders, never stops working toward restoration and redemption. Rising is both an action and a posture. It's the physical act of getting back up after being knocked down, but it's also the mental and spiritual stance of refusing to accept defeat as final. You've developed what the ancients called an indomitable spirit, a core of unshakable determination that no external force can break. This rising has activated dormant spiritual DNA within you. Capabilities that have been sleeping are beginning to awaken. Intuitive gifts that were suppressed are starting to emerge. A sense of authority and purpose that was buried under years of conditioning is beginning to surface. Notice how differently you carry yourself now. There's a new confidence in your step, a clarity in your vision, a strength in your voice. People sense something has changed about you, even if they can't articulate what it is. You're operating from a different frequency now, one that commands respect and attention. The crown of destiny. In the spiritual realm, there exists a crown that has been prepared specifically for you. Not a crown of gold or precious stones, but one forged from obedience. crafted from perseverance, adorned with the jewels of wisdom earned through experience. Deuteronomy 28, verse 8, Sien Kaider Mepret, verse 13, Tran Nai Troin Fi, Tain Tin, Amain proclaims, "The Lord will make you the head, not the tail. If you pay attention to the commands of the Lord your God that I give you this day and carefully follow them, you will always be at the top, never at the bottom." This crown isn't something you wear on your head. It's something you carry in your spirit. It represents the authority that comes with spiritual maturity, the influence that flows from authentic transformation, the respect that's earned through proven character. The crown makes you visible in ways that go beyond physical sight. People in positions of authority will begin to notice you. Opportunities that once seemed impossible will start presenting themselves. Doors that were previously locked will begin to open. This isn't about personal ambition or worldly success. It's about divine positioning for greater purpose. With the crown comes responsibility. You're being prepared to lead, to guide, to influence others who are still struggling in darkness. Your story of rising from ashes to glory will become a beacon of hope for those who feel trapped in their circumstances. The weight of this crown might feel overwhelming at times. You might wonder if you're truly worthy of such honor. But remember, you didn't crown yourself. This authority was placed upon you by the same power that spoke galaxies into existence. Trust the divine wisdom that chose you for this role. The prophetic activation. Something powerful happens when awakened souls begin to speak their truth. Your words now carry weight they never had before. When you declare something in faith, spiritual forces align to make it manifest. This isn't magic. It's the activation of spiritual laws that govern reality at the deepest level. The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8, reveals, "I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name." This open door represents opportunities, connections, and breakthroughs that are being prepared for you. Your words have become prophetic declarations. When you speak life over situations that seem hopeless, when you declare victory in the midst of apparent defeat, when you proclaim breakthrough while still facing obstacles, these aren't empty positive thinking exercises. They're spiritual commands that activate divine intervention. The number 777 represents divine perfection and completion. It's a sign that heaven is releasing its fullest blessings into your life. If you feel the power of this truth resonating within your spirit, I encourage you to comment 777 below this video. This isn't superstition. It's a prophetic act that aligns your faith with heaven's intention for your future. The multiplication effect. Your transformation creates ripples that extend far beyond your personal life. Every chain you break weakens those same chains in others. Every victory you achieve opens a path for those who will follow. Every light you kindle in darkness makes it easier for others to find their way. The Apostle Paul wrote in 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 6, "For this reason I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands." Your awakening isn't just about your own liberation. It's about igniting awakening in others who are still sleeping. Think about the people in your life who have watched your transformation. Some might not understand what's happening to you, but they can't deny the change. Your peace in the midst of chaos challenges their anxiety. Your hope in dark circumstances confronts their despair. Your strength after being broken confounds their understanding of human limitations. This multiplication effect extends into future generations. The patterns you break today will never chain your children. The victories you win now create a legacy of overcoming that will strengthen your lineage for generations to come. You're not just changing your own story. You're rewriting the narrative for an entire bloodline. The spiritual realm understands that transformation is contagious. When one person breaks free from limitation and steps into their divine purpose, It creates a frequency shift that affects everyone in their sphere of influence. Your awakening is contributing to a larger spiritual awakening that's sweeping across the earth. The final sealing. As we approach the conclusion of this revelation, I want you to understand that this moment represents a point of no return. You cannot go back to the limited understanding you once had. You cannot pretend you don't know what you now know. You cannot shrink back into the shadows after having seen your light. The universe bends not around chance, but around conscious choice. Your decision to embrace your identity as a chosen one has set cosmic forces in motion that cannot be reversed. What heaven has begun in you, heaven will complete. Galatians 3:45, verse 1 declares, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." This freedom isn't just spiritual, it's practical. You're being liberated from patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving that have kept you trapped in cycles of limitation. The fire that now burns within you is unquenchable. It will illuminate every dark place in your life. It will consume every lie that once defined you. It will transform every weakness into strength, every wound into wisdom, every scar into a story of victory. As you leave this message and return to your daily life, carry this truth with you. You are marked by heaven, sealed with purpose, and destined for greatness that extends far beyond anything you can imagine. The world is waiting for your light to shine fully, and heaven is celebrating the awakening that has already begun. If this message has ignited something within your spirit, I encourage you to engage with this community of awakening souls. Like this video to seal your agreement with these truths. Share it with someone who needs to hear that they too are chosen. Subscribe to stay connected to the continuing revelation that heaven is downloading for this generation. You are not an accident. You are not ordinary. You are not forgotten. You are chosen, awakened, and unstoppable. The awakening has begun. Heaven has taken notice, and nothing will ever be the same. The closing declaration. Remember this moment. Remember how the truth felt when it first hit your spirit. Remember the shift that happened in your understanding when you realized who you really are. This is your new baseline, your point of reference, the foundation upon which your transformed life will be built. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that what heaven has begun in you cannot be stopped by any force on earth. You carry the fire now. Let it burn brightly for all to see.